against them in the bowl game and all that went on with Coach Prime and all that?
Really just heard they're a great team and have a great stadium, so I'm really excited to go see them. So I don't know, I heard the energy out there is super fun, so I think the boys are excited to get out there.
You think the bowl game's kind of water under the bridge, or do you think they'll be kind of looking for revenge from you guys?
I think they're going to come out and play a hard game, especially after the bowl game and everything that happened. I feel like we're going to get their best shot, and I think we're all excited for it. So,
how would you kind of assess how you guys played against East Carolina, the defense as a whole?
I feel like we played pretty good. We handled the tempo really well, and I think we can just do a better job finishing, and hopefully we can show that in this next game, really what we can do. So,
where did the breakdowns come on those third downs in the second half?
What was that?
We had the third and longs in the second half against ECU. Where do you think it broke down for you guys?
Really, it was just, I feel like it was some mental errors between all of us. There's a lot of stuff that we can clean up, and I feel like us practicing this week, working on and watching the film from ECU, I feel like we can kind of capitalize off of it. So,
after watching some tape on Colorado, what are some of the focuses that you guys on defense have gone over so far?
Really, we know last year they was more of an air show team. They like to throw the ball a lot. This year I feel like they have some good running backs, and it's going to be a fun inside run game. So I feel like we should be prepared for both air and on the ground. So.
They had a lot of turnover in the offseason. Do they look like a pretty new team, or are there still some kind of similarities that you remember from that bowl game?
I feel like there's some similarities. We know that their O-line is pretty much the same. They just have a couple new transfers, but for the most part, their backs are really good, and then they got some good receivers, and their quarterback's pretty good as well. So,
you guys expecting Salter pretty much the whole way, the quarterback?
It's pretty unsure right now. Really just preparing for both of them. So,
Salter and Staub.
Yeah.
So are we going to see another Dion dance after a pick or a sack?
I wish, man. My coach got mad at me, so I don't know if we'll be seeing the Dion this year.
Did you ever get any feedback from him on that at all?
No, I was looking for him after the game, but I couldn't find him.
Okay.
So.
Anything else? All right.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Isaiah.
Thanks, Isaiah.
Thanks.
High step again?
No, I just my coach got mad at me. I thought that was the coolest thing. You picked the ball.
Yeah, I love it.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
Typical Tuesday, huh? All right, let it rip.
Jay, after watching tape and studying Colorado, what are some of the focuses on defense this week?
Well, they're very talented again, like we saw last year. I think the O-line is improved from what we faced in the bowl game. I really like their running backs a lot, and the quarterback has a super strong arm. So we got our work cut out for us. We got to be on our A game, which we know, and I like the matchup. I think it's a fun one for us again, and but we got to be on our A game again.
How much of, I guess, carryover can you take from the Alamo Bowl into this game?
Well, I actually think we're pretty similar to that game, and they're pretty similar. The players have changed drastically. Like, we don't have a Mark Collins, we don't have a Jacob Robinson and Tyler Batty and some of those other players, and they don't have Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter and some of those guys. So where I don't think the schemes or the programs have changed that much, I do think the players have drastically. So we had a lot of veteran guys in that game, and some of our newer guys that haven't played as much football need to play at that same level.
Breakdowns against ECU on third down, it seemed like they were attacking kind of that intermediate area of the field. Is that something you've noticed or you'll be working on?
They had 250 yards till we blew a coverage with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and like, we were playing really good until we made two stupid mistakes and they were down the field and scored a touchdown. So I don't want to overreact, but I was a little disappointed on how we finished those two drives. The last drive was mainly backups, but the reality is we got to finish better.
Your assessment of how Evan Johnson played the pick six and 2 interceptions.
Well, his plays were huge, obviously, and the pick six was probably the play of the game, really got momentum in our favor. The offense, the way they played in the second half was outstanding, and I just think Evan settling into who we know he is has really helped us. And, he was definitely the player of the game on defense on Saturday.
What was your thought about the call on Matui coming off the field and taking that pick away from Wall? That was kind of...
Well, that hurts, obviously. So they had subbed, and they allowed us to sub, and then they subbed again, and they should have allowed us to sub again. And so Logan wasn't in an extreme hurry to get off the field because they should have re-held it, and they didn't on the second sub. Bottom line, at that moment, he's got to get off quick. Crap happens, which in that situation, figure out a way to get out of the drive, which we did, but that was a little unfortunate.
Is Justin Kirkland going to play this weekend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about Caden Salter having a big arm? He's also a dual threat capability. What's the biggest danger in facing a guy like that?
Well, just that. He's a dual threat guy. We think he's very athletic. He's got a very strong arm. He's accurate. I don't know that he's been in the system a long time, but he's only going to get better and better in it. I know that. So we better expect his A game. And he's got weapons to throw to. And they got good running backs to hand the ball to. So we got our work cut out for us.
Update if Jonathan Cabell will be available this weekend.
Jonathan will not be back just yet, but we're getting close with him.
How do you feel like the defensive line has held up through 3 games here, and how much does it help being able to work a guy like JK back, not just even to be available in games, but into practice and all that stuff?
Well, I think they're playing very good. There's definitely some stuff to clean up. We're one of the leaders in the nation in rushing yards. We lead the nation in points given up. So there's so many good things we're doing, but we got a lot of room to improve. And that's going to be the key is, can we improve this week? Can we improve the next week? If we can, this team has a real chance. This defense has a real chance, but we got to keep improving.
I guess the field is pretty unique at Boulder. There's some pine pellets that I've heard of amongst the field. Any intel you've heard about that?
Well, we've seen teams slipping a little bit. I have no idea what that means. They got to play on the exact same field that we do, so if they're not slipping, we shouldn't slip. So I think that's all that we put into that.
You notice JT's play has just been great so far. Talk a little bit about JT and what he's meant.
Well, I think JT's huge. I mean, he was the player of our game in our first game, and he's really played solid this year. I think Coach Siane's done a great job with our defensive tackle room and how they're playing. We're stout right now in so many of the things that we're doing. There's not much hitting up inside. We got to continue to have that for us to be the defense we want to be.
Anything else? All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate you.
We have one more coming.
One more, okay.
What's up, Brad?
Bonus round for you.
All right.
Hey guys, works better for me to do this on Tuesday if that's all right with you guys.
Questions for A-Rod?
So what stands out about Colorado's defense to you from an early look at them?
Just good players. Yeah, this will be the best, most talented team we've played yet this year. A lot of team speed, and they're tough and really well coached.
They've had some struggles stopping the run. You guys got to keep your guys humble on that because, as you said, you're pretty talented.
That's all we talk about every week is 1 week at a time, be humble and learn. You know, we're trying to learn from everything we can do better each week. And yeah, we have tons of respect for these guys. We know they're a good team, and we got to go play at their place. It's going to be hostile, and crowd noise is going to be a factor. So we have our work cut out for us for sure.
What impressed you in that second half with Bear? Like what caused him to just really kind of settle in and find his rhythm in that game last week?
He just was more accurate in the second half. First half, he made great decisions. That's why I wasn't worried. You know, the point total, I don't think, at halftime didn't reflect how well we were actually playing. We were moving the ball, executing very well, and Bear just missed a couple of open throws that would have been touchdowns. You know, the first play of the game should have been a touchdown, and he just missed it, and that's okay. A couple other plays in that half where he was just a little off. He was going to the right guy and doing the right things with the ball, and we were just a little off. But had a lot of confidence at halftime. We were going to regroup and score points in the second half, and that's what we did.
And that long touchdown run by LJ, was that a check down by Bear? Was that the original?
Yeah, it was a 3-play package actually, which I haven't done many of those in my career with a freshman quarterback. In fact, I haven't done any of that, but he can handle it. So yeah, he had 3 options on that play, and he got us in the right play for a touchdown.
How much do you enjoy that as a play caller to have such a young guy and you can really get in your bag and throw a lot of stuff at him?
It's nice. We have to find a good balance every week of not having too many of those. That it's just that first of all we don't want to just slow the game down to a grinding halt. We're not trying to do that. We want to play in rhythm, and also just being smart about not putting too much on his plate. But so far, he's been able to handle everything we've given him.
There's been a lot of talk about all the changes between both of these two teams since they met 9-10 months ago.
Yeah.
Are you seeing some similarities though, or are you kind of treating sort of this game prep as like a blank canvas, like it's totally different team?
I think there's still similarities that they probably see more similarities in us, because we're still pretty much a lot of the same team, same offense. But yeah, I think there's similarities on both sides. There's some returning players and some new players. So yeah, it's an interesting matchup, but there's some good players on that field that we played against last year that are still out there, so it's going to be a tough game.
This week starts availability reports with the conference coming out of East Carolina. Will there be any guys offensively that are going to be on that list?
That'll come out tomorrow. We've got some guys banged up, and we'll find out. We'll hopefully find out in the next 24 hours who's going to be available and who's not. But yeah, we took a few lumps in that last game.
How have you felt about the amount of contact that Bear has taken through the first 3 games on the quarterback runs in particular?
Really good question. Bear's a physical player, and he likes contact, so we have to be smart about managing that. And I think so far we're finding the right balance of, we're mixing in a little bit of QB run when we feel like it can help us expose the defense, and but we're not going to be reckless about it either. Those hits add up over the course of the year, and so we have to be wise about when we use those. But he is a threat with his legs, as you can see. I mean, he's a very good runner, and the threat of that, I think, forces defenses to account for him every play. And then I think it's been a factor in why our passing game opened up last game. The first two games we didn't need to throw. We didn't even really try. And then this last game we knew we were going to need to throw to win, and it's going to get harder from now on. So you're going to see the passing game continue to be a factor. But that QB run game helps slow down, defenses, how many different variations of pressures and coverages you're going to see, because they all have to be sound against the quarterback run game.
Okay, in that ECU game, how was your run-pass ratio as far as, did you hit the numbers you were looking for as far as run to pass?
We don't really have one. It's going to vary from game to game. There's going to be games where we might need to throw the ball 40 times to win and run it 20 times. And, we want to be a balanced team, okay? But from game to game, those numbers could sway either way based on the matchups, based on the score, if we're ahead or behind, or and it's going to vary from week to week.
What's the readiness or the hunger of this offense to chase another Big 12 title? You guys got so close last year.
Yeah, we're just focused on winning this game this week. I think the only way, that's in the back of everyone's mind. I think every team in this conference wants to win the conference, and the way you do that is you stay focused on the task at hand. Just win this week. Go 1-0 this week. We haven't won a Big 12 game yet, so right, we're 3-0, but this is our first Big 12 game, and we want to get in the win column.
Bear's been really good at one of your main tasks all the time, taking care of the football. What do you attribute that? Like, what's Bear doing that's where he's just at a high level taking care of
He showed it in fall camp. He's an excellent decision maker, and I think we try to our scheme accounts for that. I mean, we have a lot of different pass protections, and we give people a lot of different variety of looks, and try to make it hard to get to our quarterback, and then we have a good run game, and those things both help the quarterback. But most of all, it's just he's a good decision maker, and he's doing a great job protecting the ball.
Any other questions?
One more thing for me, Coach.
Yep.
Kalani's got a well-documented connection to Coach Prime. Have you ever had any sort of connection to Prime at all in your coaching career at all?
I haven't, but I was a huge fan of him as a player, and I'm a big fan of him as a coach. I'm super impressed with everything he's done there, and he's a flashy player, but he's an old school coach, and he's running an old school program. Those guys are tough. They play hard. At the bowl game, all of our interactions with their team, they were all class. I have a lot of respect for these guys and tons of respect for Coach Prime.
All right, thank you.